Have you ever noticed how your eyes decide before your heart does? Psychologists say your eyes send a signal to your brain long before you even think, and your emotions rush to obey. That's why you don't just see pleasure, you respond to it. But here's the question, what next, after all the pleasures? The human mind is wired to chase what shines. From birth, our eyes were designed to detect brightness, motion, and color because those things meant survival. But with time, the same instinct became a trap. Now we chase not what gives life, but what gives thrill. That's why we scroll endlessly, buy impulsively, and sometimes even sin consciously because something looked good. Just like when Eve saw the fruit that it was pleasant to the eyes. Satan knows this wiring. That's why he never comes with something ugly. He wraps death in beauty. He packages emptiness in applause. He gives you what you can see, so you can lose what you can't see. But look at God. When he wanted to draw Moses, he didn't use something else, he used fire. He set a bush ablaze, not to destroy it, but to attract it. And Moses said, "I will now turn aside and see this great sight." Exodus 3 verse 3. God attracts differently, not through lust, but through wonder. Satan burns things up to consume. God burns things up to call. One destroys curiosity, the other awakens destiny. Now David said in Psalm 16 verse 11, "In thy presence is fullness of joy, at thy right hand are pleasures forevermore." Temporary pleasures satisfy the body. Eternal pleasures satisfy the soul. One ends in emptiness, the other begins in eternity. The world's pleasure is like perfume. Smells nice, fades fast. God's pleasure is like light. It doesn't expire, it only expands. When Jesus separated the sheep from the goats, notice something. He placed the sheep at his right hand.
You who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
The same side David called pleasures forevermore. The sheep were not there because they were perfect, but because they heard and followed his voice. The goat heard too, but followed its appetite. In the divine economy, pleasure is the byproduct of obedience. When you follow his voice, you find his presence. When you find his presence, you enter his pleasure. So I ask you again, what next, after all the pleasures? When the lights dim, when the thrill cools, when the applause stops, what remains? For the sheep, what remains is peace. Choose to be drawn by fire, not by glitter, because in his fire there's calling, and at his right hand there are pleasures forevermore.